Okay, right. My number 5 is Dead Space 3.
Fuck! Fuck off!
Yeah, sorry. I played it for about just under an hour. Half of it was co-op, half of it was single player. And at first I was like, that's really crafty what they've done, because the single player component was on a space station. It was classic Dead Space. It was what the fans want. Whereas the co-op section was it's a bit more action orientated, a boss fight outside in a wide open space. Whereas, of course, the thing that everyone would have wanted to see is how co-op works when both of you are doing the traditional Dead Space stuff, and whether that kills the tension. But that aside, I think it's really impressive. I was really impressed by it. What are they there isn't much that's changed. You now have got a combat roll, or a sort of like a backflip that you do out of the way of stuff, which I didn't mind. It worked in a couple of combat situations quite well. You open most doors with stasis rather than walking up to the door and pressing a single button, which is pointless, but it's a bit more engaging than just like pressing a button. What's most impressive about it is that the single player, actually the first half of the single player bit was on the space station, the second half was on this ice planet, and the way that the first half, classic Dead Space, really tense moments, really the pitch perfect sound design, really tense. And when it transitions to the ice planet, it's really effective, and I wasn't expecting it, because it's tense in a completely different way. When you first land on the planet, it's blindingly bright, but there's a sandstorm, so you can't really see everything in front of you. There's also rickety. Everything's rickety. There's kind of, you get the sounds of like creaking wood and creaking metal in the background and around you, so you kind of feel like you're being watched, and you also feel like the ground's about to give way. So trepidation. You're always really nervy about what's going to happen next. So it kind of has taken something that only really worked in the dark in a traditional horror game, and that was just struck me as really clever. I mean, when everyone first saw this, everyone said the same thing, Lost Planet, and so did I, because it does look a bit like Lost Planet. But I also started thinking, The Thing. There's honestly the tension that they could build from set pieces that took place out in the bright sort of open plains of this snow planet was so impressive, so impressive. I didn't think they could pull it off, but they have.
Tundra's scary.
Yeah, it struck me as really smart, because it's still Dead Space but in a completely different way. And I had as many tense moments, and I jumped as much as I did when I was in the snow as when I was on the space station. And sound design, as always, is brilliant. But anyway, we did that, and then we did the co-op section, which was basically the run-up to a boss battle. And yeah, that was really cool. We took it in turns. One of us used stasis, one of us used our guns, so you strategised that way. And the way that the NPC character that the second player controls interacts with Isaac, I mean, he fucking hates him, and obviously we don't know why, but it was not normally that kind of thing. When you've got an NPC who's just constant like aggressive banter, that can get irritating. But here I was like, you were like, why does he hate him so much? Why is he so fucking vicious? And playing it on co-op is going to unlock different cutscenes. There's going to be side missions from doing it on co-op and stuff like that. And it reminded me that when there's a co-op game and it has as strong a narrative as Dead Space does, I'm going to play through the narrative. I'm going to play through the game on single player and then play it again on co-op, which is what I always do. I think that's what most people do.
I think so, yeah.
So the fact that it may potentially make some horror set pieces a little less tense, I don't think it's going to hurt it, because you'd have already done it before. And it's a nice way. It felt like two different games, and two different games that are equally appealing. So I'm looking forward to it. The co-op doesn't ruin it in the way I thought, although I didn't do any of the sort of hardcore indoor space station horror stuff. But apart from that, it's looking great. I
don't even think the idea of having someone else there will necessarily ruin the tension. I understand that it might ruin the isolation factor, but I think you can scare each other, freak each other out just as much. I mean, Left 4 Dead, I was always scaring other people just by going, oh fuck, what's that?
Oh yeah.
And that's not even a particularly scary, tense game. It is in different ways, and that's a whole different discussion. But I don't see that as fundamentally being something that can't be scary, having another person there.
No, I agree with that. And to be honest, when there's a jumpy moment like the Necromorphs jumping out of a vent or something, your mate going, "Oh fuck, shit," is likely to sort of rattle you as much as it actually happening as a one-player game. So yeah, I don't think that's going to hurt it. But seeing how well they've how seriously they because it's so clever what they've done with the snow sections, just making you feel oppressed and lost and. As much as you do in the other stuff, it's shaping up so great.
But yeah, I'm excited for it, and like I have problems with both the first two games, small problems, but the type of problems that you only level at games that do so many things so well. You wouldn't level them at a shit game because there'd be so much actual stuff to complain about. So yeah, just a couple of things to do with the pacing, things like that. But yeah, Dead Space is a fantastic series. I think I'll be done after the third. I don't think I need it anymore.
No, but I mean the space station set piece. To be fair to it, it could have been in any of the first two. It was just more of the same. It felt like deliberately crowd pleasing, but seeing it segue into the snow planet and seeing it just be as tense, that was great to see. So yeah,
awesome.
really promising, big time.